rocking.
Yeah. All right. We good?
Yeah, hold on.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, what's going on? This is AJ the Franchise,
It's your boy Ben the Great.
and this is Talking Real Spill Podcast.
Yes, sir. Well, we basically just come and chop it up with you about some everyday topics, man. Bring y'all along our journey, man. You know,
Right.
give y'all our thoughts and opinions on things, man. So, with that being said, welcome to the discussion.
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
So today, man, we was chopping it up a little earlier, man, about basically the differences about, you know, kind of like this generation and our generation. You know,
Right,
how we,
right.
you know, when we came up and like, you know, what's going on right now, man.
Right.
It's a few. It's quite a difference, man. If you ask me.
Yeah, it's a
man.
big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. And we just wanted to, touch on a little bit about it. About how the old school generation is a little bit different than these new kids nowadays, and
Yeah.
we just thought it was a good little informational thing to, just enlighten people on,
Right.
just knowing the differences of, of how the times have changed.
Yeah. Like definitely.
Right.
One of the key things, man, huge things is like, just the kids themselves. Like, man, back in our days, man, we stayed outside.
Man,
Right? We stayed
we
outside.
stayed
I'm
outside,
talking
man.
about-
Like, our parents had to literally come find us.
Right.
Just get on us when we came in the house late.
Right,
but,
man,
but
it
we
was
was
like-
gone from early morning to late night, to
Especially
when the lights came on.
Weekends
Right.
or summer, man, like you say, early morning, man. I remember, you get up, you do the essentials, wash the face, brush your
Yeah.
teeth, all that,
Mhm.
get you something to eat if you did that, and boom, you out.
Right.
And you're not coming back in until you hungry a little bit or thirsty, and then you couldn't even do that too much. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was what they call ripping and running in and out, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You about to get like, hey, look, you got to stay in or you staying out.
Yep,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
how they hit us with. You
Yeah.
staying in or staying out. You probably had maybe one or two times, maybe three the most,
Maybe
to come up
three.
in that
Yeah,
house to
maybe
get you
three.
something to drink or some snacks or whatever like that while you outside. But you was after that, you was either getting locked out or she was.
Yeah, I
or
mean,
she
they
just getting
locking the door, and if
Yeah.
you need something to drink, you about to hit the water fountain on the
Right,
side.
right.
And like even that though, like
Yeah.
even that. When the last
Yeah.
time you actually saw somebody, a kid drinking from the water faucet outside?
Man, we used to do that all the time. Like we used to,
Yeah.
like I said, when we wasn't able to go in that house and get nothing to drink for everybody,
Man.
or get no ice shit, we was on the side of that house with that
Getting how
hose,
we
turning
live.
that faucet on, let it run
Yes,
for 10
sir.
seconds,
Yes, sir.
let that little hot water come
Yeah,
up out
kinda
of there,
cool down a
and
little bit,
then,
and then-
and we sipping on the side of the house water, man.
And there was 3, 4, 5 of us
Yeah.
taking turns.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
taking
saying?
turns on it. Yep.
And that's how it was.
That's
but
exactly how it was, baby.
like I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know if it's safe to do that now. Like,
Yeah.
It's so much going on.
Right,
now. Like, I
right,
don't
right.
even know if it's safe.
It
But
probably wasn't even safe back then, but it's just the fact of
It
how
was
we
just-
how we was
man.
how we was raised back then.
Man,
And
we just-
that's what we doing. Like when we was outside all day, we had to stay hydrated.
That's how we knew.
playing basketball, we playing football, whatever activities or sports that we coming up with throughout that day. We gonna need to be hydrated. So
even that
Yeah.
even you mentioning that, it's like you say, man, back in our day, man, we going outside early mornings. I'm thinking more summertime now. So we going out early mornings, and we came up with something to keep us occupied throughout the whole day. So we ran some pickup basketball.
Mhm.
We
21.
played football. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If
Tackling
we didn't
the
have
grade.
a field,
Yeah.
we played on the street and we played sideline
Yeah,
pop. You know what I'm
sideline
saying?
pop, yeah.
Man, we played baseball. Man, we
Yep.
caught a field on the corner and we rocking them, trying to knock them over the fence.
Right.
If we wasn't
Played
doing that,
kickball.
man, we played kickball.
On
We
the
played
street.
OUT out. We
Yeah.
playing freeze tag. We
Yeah.
playing red light, green
We
light.
was playing manhunt.
Man, we
all of
playing
that.
duck goose.
Yeah.
Bro, we but me and my cousins, we was doing relay races with the bikes.
Yeah.
You catch a block, boom,
Yeah.
you run it back, get to the next man.
We used to do
So-
just relay just on feet.
On feet.
Yeah,
I
just
mean-
running 100 meters
Man,
down the street
but I
and
think-
seeing who the fastest was on the block.
But-
We just stayed doing stuff like
Stayed
throughout the
doing
whole
stuff,
day,
man.
even if we was done doing one activity. Or like say we were playing that basketball or something.
Right,
we done
right.
playing that, we automatically finna start playing another
Jumping into
sport.
something else,
We
man.
finna start racing, or we finna go start flipping us, or
Man,
just something.
Flipping, what you know about
You know,
it, man.
right.
We had the flip
Yeah.
competitions, man.
Mhm.
And it was it was just something, man. Just like hearing all that, it was like, man, it's crazy how active we was, man. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, man, these kids, man, if it ain't, you know, an actual little league sport or some AAU or something, they kind of not
kids
even
don't
doing
even
it.
want to be outside nowadays. It's
I'm
crazy.
telling my kids, man, if we didn't have a football or something, man, we tying up a shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
we throwing a lot of socks together, man.
Yeah.
We getting a water bottle and wrapping shirts and stuff around there. Like, man, back in our days, man.
Dancers cut the bottom out of it to
Bro,
make that into a basketball
the
goal.
yeah, back
man.
in my days, man, you made
Right.
it happen with whatever you had. And that's it's like I feel like that's a big difference. You know what I'm saying with this generation and our generation. Is you know, our kids are a bit spoiled, man.
Yeah, because it's like I said, like nowadays these kids just want to stay on that video game all day.
Man.
It's like now that's their life, watching YouTube videos and you know playing these little games on their tablet and you know just video games. That's all they want to do. Like we even get on our little cousins and stuff like. You know, when they be in the house just on Call of Duty and stuff, we be like, man, y'all ain't going outside, like this ain't nothing we used to do. Like we used to be out there on bikes, hitting the bio, all kind of stuff. Like he tell us like, oh well, what I'm gonna do if I go outside? I'm like, oh Lord, this is
just hearing that
kids,
like,
man.
Really, bro? Like, we found something to do. We made up something to do. And if we couldn't do this, we created something. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference, man. It's like if you're not telling them what to do and putting them in something that's already organized, they lost.
They lost, man.
And that's crazy, man. Because like I never would have thought it. As much as I love sports and just being outside with the homies, I figured that would trickle down or something. But you know, it's a different world now.
Yeah.
But even on that outside stuff, man. I remember, you know, in Pine Trails, man, you know, shout out to the East Side. I'm standing in the front of the Pine Trails, my cousin standing in the back. Man, I would get on the bike, shoot to my cousin's house, no problem. From there, we would shoot to Josh's house, kind of in the front of Pine Trails. And it was no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying it was no problem, like my parents didn't care or whatever, but it was understood. It's like, man, look, you just got a certain time to be in the house.
Yeah.
Don't get in trouble. Be respectful. And that was the rules. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, other than that, man, we was making our way.
And we was going like blocks
fun.
and blocks away.
Man.
And like it's crazy because, you know, just looking at the changes of how it is now, like I know me and you was talking, you know, a couple of days back and you was like, you know, nowadays you wouldn't even let your kids go down the block and do like half the stuff that we used to do back then because you know we used to be miles away from the house, especially when we got them bikes. Man. You know, so you know, I just want to elaborate a little bit on that, like you know how times have changed to where we don't even feel safe to have our kids doing that no more.
Right, definitely. Like you know, exactly what you're saying. Like man, I don't trust it, man. You know, not to say I don't trust them, but just the way the world is now.
Right.
Like I was saying, we would be all around Pine Trails, all over. Yeah. Now, man, my kids, I'm not letting them go more than 2 or 3 streets over, you know, and I need to know is the exact house, you know, exactly where you're going so I can pull up if need be.
Exactly. Do you think it's because it wasn't as many like child molesters back then?
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of that.
Like maybe you think social media kind of makes things worse?
Man, I think it's all that. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's both of those you said play a part in it.
Right,
you know, especially the social media, man. But yeah, both of those play a part because now it's just a different generation. Period. You know,
right?
It's a lot going on now that wasn't going on back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is all the things that our kids have to deal with. You know, so not all fault to them. You know, I know right now we was talking about them not wanting to be outside, but you know, it is a part of. You know, it's a certain part of it to where, you know, like we're saying, they can't go so far, and that's not to their fault. You know what I'm saying? So,
but still, they could still like do little activities in front of the house where they still play outside in the front yard, still be active. You know, and
you have to do that.
And like even on the game thing, like we're not saying like you know y'all keeping y'all kids on games is bad. You know, this is what the kids do. You know, but we just speaking like on when we was younger. Like when we was on the game, we still played the game. We was on the Nintendo, the Genesis, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we was on it was really just because we had to come in the house.
Yeah.
And we didn't have nothing to do. You know?
Just for that break. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Or if
been
it was
out there
raining
a few
outside.
hours, and now it's time to come in, catch you a little air, man.
Right.
Really beat up on you on the game or whatever the case may be, and then after we, after we get too loud and now mama not trying to hit again, boom, right back to outside. So, you know, it wasn't just no all day stuff. And then now, you know, with the games, you know, these kids now, the games are interconnected or whatever. So I could be playing my game here, talking to you. Yeah. So it's like to them, I guess it's like, why do I have to go outside? You know, so I'm playing the game, still talking to my friends or talking to my cousins. So
because like we had, like when we had to do something like that back then, you had to basically like connect like 2 Xboxes together. You know, just to make, you know, 8 players on the screen or something like that. And it wasn't no headphones, none of that stuff like that. You know, it was just all of us collectively playing maybe on 1 or 2 screens and we just in one game.
Yeah, same house though.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a bit different now, man. So that, you know, the technology coming in and, man, I'm not gonna say messing everything up, but changing a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely.
It's good and bad, you know, but it's just how they take it. Like I say, you know, they get to talk through the games and stuff. So to them, I guess they feel like, hey, you know, I'm still spending time with the family or with the friends, and it's like, nah, man. Yeah. Nothing beats sitting outside on that generator. You know what I'm saying? We sitting on the generator, not even knowing. You know, sitting on a generator and having flip contests, like you say, and things like that, man. Nothing beats that. Nothing replaces that. Man. That's different, man. And some of my closest friends now came from those times, man. You know, it's that bond you build doing that, being outside with these dudes, getting scraped up and stuff like that, man. Like you can't replace that, man.
Exactly. Those memories, you know, of doing this and that, and a lot of kids won't even have those memories. They just have those game memories and stuff like that. Oh, you know, we won this round and, you know, stuff like that. But it's nothing really,
stuff now, man.
It's nothing really crazy. Man. And even just on like on the phone things, like you know, back then we didn't have those phones, you know, to communicate with our friends and partners and stuff like that. Like when we started getting phones, we was like teenagers already, and we was just barely getting like church phones, flip phones at that time. And then you had to pay for your minutes. You know, you had to pay for your texts. You know, we didn't have you know, this quick internet. We had AOL. You had to let the thing load up. You know,
hey, and you know, we was trying to have the beepers. You was fly, you had the beeper. Yeah. You know, so I remember, you know what I'm saying, to this day, rocking my uncle beeper and stuff, thinking I was, man, you couldn't tell me I wasn't no stuff, man.
Remember like the 2-way flip phone? Man, I mean, that little sidekick, man. Man, that was like a game changer right there.
I had the T-Mobile joint though that slid up or whatever. That mother was live, man. But I remember. But
see, like we didn't get that until our teenage years, though. These kids are having phones like at 5 years old now. Like my little cousin got the same phone as me and know how to work it better than me.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Man, honestly, I didn't get my first phone until I was like 16, man. I believe. Now I know, you know, it's some people like, man, I had mine at 15. All right, that's cool. I think I had mine at 16, you know, going to 17 or whatever. Honestly, but man, like I said, I was happy, you know, having a pager. I remember going to Lockwood with my cousin and stuff, man. And, you know, looking fresh or whatever, having a pager, you was good. But back then, you know, you had to pull out that paper. You know what I'm saying?
You had to pull that paper.
Man, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the night, we pulling out the paper, seeing who got the most numbers. Now they pulling out their phones and man, it's different. But you know,
it's way different
with these phones, man. The same thing. Kind of back to like going outside. It's like now, you know, they come home, they do their work or whatever, they hitting their partners. Hey man, what's up, boom, boom. Back in our days, man, we got home, we did our work. I had to jump on that bike to go see if you was home.
Exactly.
You know, I had to go see if Chris home.
That's how we knew, like, somebody was out and about.
That's how we knew.
If we seen the bikes outside.
And I'm coming to you, hey man, you want to go hoop at Josh's house, or boom, going to his house, and then after a while, it's 6, 7 of us. You know what I'm saying? That's how. But look, then we getting exercise, man. We getting some of that sun. We getting air. So man, that stuff is important. But like you say, these phones, man, they getting them. You know, my 13-year-old have a phone. He been having it for a while. You know what I'm saying? My 16-year-old been having his for a while. they getting these phones early, man, and then I think it's kind of down in, you know, that communication skills a little bit, man. Because a lot of stuff, even with the phones, they not calling everybody, they texting.
They texting.
You know, so it's not the same. You're not really getting that,
right,
you know.
Right. Because even like back then, just even on the calling thing, like remember back then, like we used to be on that phone late night on that little on that phone call line. Boy. We used to be tying up that line,
boy,
you know, and we used to be on the phone just all night, you know,
until
the next morning.
Use the phone,
yeah,
you know,
and then, you know, your mom used to get on the phone and kick you off the phone or something, but you know, that was our communication back then. And like kids won't even do that nowadays, even if they are talking to a little female, if they a boy or if it's a girl, vice versa, like they don't even talk on the phone no more. They just text or you know
they go on Instagram. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, right. Like when you kind of meet a girl now, I don't even think they really giving out the numbers now. They just giving you their Instagram or something now. Right. My boy's telling you, I got the Instagram. I'm like, what?
Right,
like, okay,
That is a whole nother change of how we were
crazy,
back then.
Man. And,
because we did have to approach it and get the number, and that lets you know you was official. But now they just give out like Instagrams and stuff. Man. Like I guess that's the new way to do it now. I guess, yeah.
But it's you know, and like I say, it's not all bad, man. It's just how they approach it, how they use it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good to it, but. I don't know, man. I feel like me personally, I feel like our way was better. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the way we came up, man, I wouldn't change it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I say, it's good and bad with this technology stuff, but I wouldn't change it, man, because it built character, man.
Yeah.
You know, it taught you some stuff, man. You had to learn while you was out here, man. You away from the house, you hungry, you know, you had to, but like it helped build relationships too, because like my you know what I'm saying? One of my closest friends, mom was like my second mom. You know what I'm saying? Because I was over there so much.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It helped you build relationships with people. It helped you, you know, build a community because you over there so much. Now, you know, this lady and this man is going to kind of get on you too. So they going to hold you accountable. So now you have to, you know, carry yourself a certain way, not only at home, you know what I'm saying? So it helped build character too,
that's
man.
True,
and
that's
I think
true, that's true.
Man,
we had to pull our pants up and not curse around the older folks and, you know, keep it respectable.
Right.
You know, and still just that, you know, going to your friend's house and, you know, calling your mama they mama or, you know, Amy or something like that. It just built, you know, like you said.
Like I say, it built that character, man. Along on that respect thing, I think that's one of the biggest things that's missing now. And I think part of that, like what I was just saying, is part of the reason why. You know, you don't really have to be around people a lot. So now when you are around them, you just feel like, hey, this is me. I'm gonna do what I want to do. If I curse, I'm gonna curse. If I sag, I'm gonna sag. You know, you're not held accountable because you're away. You're not around the parents. You know what I'm saying? So you just feel like this is you. This is what I'm gonna do. But like back in my day, like I say, if I wasn't home, I was at the friend's house or I'm at the cousin house. You know, we were still out and about, but we were around people that was still gonna hold us accountable. So I couldn't just sag. Or not, I'm not even gonna say I couldn't. I didn't want to because I felt a certain respect for this woman or this man. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I still had that respect just as if I would respect my mom or my grandfather or whoever, you know what I'm saying? So, like, even when I kind of started cursing, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, mama. But, you know, when I was young and I actually started cursing, man, you couldn't pay me to curse around an adult. You know, because it was already embedded. I'm already kind of breaking the rules anyway, you know, cursing here and there. But, like, if adults came around, we toned it down. Man, nowadays, oh, man. I've heard kids in elementary. Dude, I'm not BSing you. I've heard kids in elementary that can curse better than some adults.
Man, it's crazy.
And then you will look at them and they'll look and it's like, okay, you know,
the times have changed.
It's not a big deal, and you know,
right.
It's and you know. Just on that, it's because I've heard some kids tell people like, you can't whoop me. My mom say, can't nobody whoop me but her or my dad. And
that was getting whooped by everybody in the neighborhood back then.
And
especially
that kind of
if you
stuff
had
is
that
what triggers that.
And right.
You know,
and everything was cool back then. It wasn't all this extra stuff that it is now when you hit your kids and all that stuff. That's a whole nother change. How it was like we was getting hit with switches and you know, tree limbs and
Yeah.
all kind of stuff.
We
So
can definitely
nowadays,
talk about that, but I don't
it's
know.
like,
I don't know if we can talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
that. But nah,
That's just crazy
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
But you
it
know,
was
I was just
different,
saying,
man.
you know, the
Nah,
differences,
nah,
you know,
trust
between it and stuff, and you know, like I know you were saying like. Kids nowadays kind of don't think that phones or tablets or you know games or whatever this technology is a privilege. I mean,
Facts.
you know,
Facts.
like how we had like back then, like we did get a phone. If we did something bad, we got it took from.
Yeah.
Or we had to do something good just to get that,
Just to get it,
a
man.
phone or
Just to get
a
it.
game or something like
Because
that.
back in our days,
Right.
man, for the most part, now you know to every rule there's an exception. So
Mm-hmm.
even with this, you know, you had some people that was just all right, cool. They knew they was gonna get it, but
Yeah.
for the most of us, man, getting that phone, man, that was a privilege.
So was.
And bro,
We-
we cherished that.
We had to cut
We
yards,
was excited.
do all kind of stuff just to get a phone.
Cutting
Now,
yards.
and,
When the last time you actually seen some kids walking around cutting yards?
right.
So even with that, like thinking about it, like if my mom told me like, all right, well, you know, I might, you know, you've been doing good, boom, boom, I might, you know, I might get this phone for you, whatever. You would kind of go cut them yards to kind of cut the cost.
Yeah.
Hey, if I could bring this kind of money into it, maybe I can get it faster. I know we used to do that for shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Josh, Marvin,
Yeah.
Boone, Avery, shout out. You know what I'm saying? Man, when it came to shoe time, man, because I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like we didn't just have it like that. So my mom I wasn't getting every pair of shoes like that. Like
Right.
my uncle kept me fresh. You know what I'm saying? But you know, sometimes it was like, man, hey, y'all know them. You know, y'all know them 12s coming out on the 25th.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got 3 weeks, man. Let's
Right,
get it.
right,
and
right,
boom. So after
That's how
school,
we do
we
it.
hitting it. On the weekends, we hitting it.
Right.
You know,
and kids nowadays kind of feel like it's old to them. You know, like,
man, tell me about
and
it.
I think it's because we're giving these kids these phones so early or these tablets so early, you know, and now it get to the point where it's just like they just expect to have it. It ain't just like it ain't no privilege no more.
But not even
Right.
not only that, because that does play a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because like after you give them whatever you give them, I think it's what you do and how you treat it after that that will shift their their attitude towards it.
Right.
So even if I give them this phone early, but afterwards I let them know that this is a privilege, I make you earn it, or you got to stay in line to keep it, things like that. Then they would still have a concept of okay, I still have to earn this, or I still have to do certain things to keep this.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Along those lines, man, I think a lot of kids and the reason they feel, entitled or they feel like this is what I should get is because, social media too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They look and everybody's getting it now at 15, 16. So
Right.
they feel like, okay, now they looking up, they looking you upside your head like, well, when I'm getting mine? I'm 15.
Exactly.
Everybody else got theirs. They don't understand that. Like, even if everybody else got theirs, some of those parents are rich, or some of those other kids did certain things to get that.
Right.
All you looking at is that everybody have it. You know what I'm saying? You
Right,
see it, so you just kind of feel like it's automatic.
Right.
That's what should happen.
Right.
And that's no fault to social media. I'm not faulting social media for that, but I'm just saying like that's like I say with social media, it is a good and a bad. It's how you take it.
Mm-hmm.
As with anything.
So like, how do you feel like about nowadays how parents are kind of being more like friends to their kids instead of like more parents to their kids?
Yeah, and that's
and
that's why like when I said that, I said kind of no faults to social media,
right?
Because if you're really being a parent, and please, when I say this, it's no disrespect to anybody, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to have nobody waiting for me when I when I walk out the door. But what I'm saying is, if you're being a real parent, then it kind of doesn't matter what they see on social media or in the movies or whatever, because you're already at a certain age. You start to have certain talks about certain things. Like they say, okay, at this age we'll talk about the birds and the bees or whatever the case may be. So at a certain age, you'll start to, if you involved in your kid's life, really, you'll start to see what they take interest in. So you'll kind of know what you need to talk about.
Right.
That, and that's just how I feel anyway. Because of course I'm not, the parent guru and nothing like that. But
I mean, because I know like nowadays, like back then, for instance, whatever mama or grandma them cooked back then, that's what we had to eat. We didn't have no opinions or no options about what we wanted.
Right.
Nowadays, like kids kind of tell their parents what they want to eat, and that's kind of a difference of how we was back then. Like whatever they cooked is what we had to eat, and then you was lucky to get a plate. If you came in late or something like
Right,
that,
right.
if everybody got to it, then it was just gone.
And
you
that's
know,
that's definitely the parents being the
right,
parent.
right.
So that's like hitting the nail on the head, man.
Right,
Because
right.
in my house, man, if my mama cooked and this is what she cooked, then that's what you ate.
Yeah.
And it ain't even about this all we have to eat or whatever. Because this is like I took my time to cook this.
Mm-hmm.
After doing whatever I done
for the day, right?
That's what you're gonna eat. You
right,
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, my mom don't like it like that. Okay, well then you don't have to eat it.
And you gonna start at night too, or make you some noodles, or eat you some cereal, or something.
But not even that.
But there is no other meals being made.
Yeah, in my house, it wasn't. That's the difference. In my house, coming up, like if my mom cooked a meal and it was like, now if it was something where she cooked like some pig feet and she just know I don't eat pig feet, okay, cool. But if she cooked some spaghetti or whatever the case, and you just for whatever reason you're not in the mood for spaghetti, you're not gonna go eat no cereal because you're not in the mood for spaghetti.
Yeah,
you're not about to go make no noodles. No. This is what's cooked.
Yeah.
So this is what you're gonna eat because back in the day, we didn't have we wasn't just stuff in this refrigerator, stuff in that refrigerator. So we didn't just have food to waste.
Right.
So if I cook this, eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, you not hungry?
That's how it was. Even when it came down to the dinner table, like we had to all eat at the dinner table. When food was prepped, we had to all eat it together. It wasn't no I could take my plate to the room and watch TV, or I take my plate to the room and talk on the phone and play the game. While it wasn't none of that. It was everybody was at the table and eating with the family, and we was talking about school. About this and that, if our anus was getting on us about something, about cleaning up or something, but, it was a family time.
Right. Now, I will say this, though. Now, we didn't always just eat at the same time together, but we did eat at the table. Like, you wasn't going in the room, we would definitely have some, we would all eat at the table together or whatever, but for the most part, we didn't always do that, you know what I'm saying, which I kind of wish we did, you know what I'm saying? Because, even that's something I'm kind of putting into my house, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just more of the family time thing. But but you definitely, you was eating what was cooked and you was eating at the table.
Right.
It's just certain rules, you know what I'm saying? And that just goes back to you, like you saying, the parent being a parent and not just a friend. And the reason I say just a friend, because especially nowadays, you don't have to say, oh, I'm a parent, I'm not your friend. You could definitely be a friend, because me and my boys have a super cool relationship, man. We joke and we play. Like, I could be playing with my son right now and you'd be like, man, you let him talk to you like that? It's like, yeah, because I know the relationship we have. I know he's playing, but when he know I'm serious, he know to cut it out, right? So, but at the same time, you have to be the parent. You have to be a parent, man, because these kids need parents, man.
True.
They go to school, they have a gang load of friends. They need parents, man, and we have to get back to being parents, like for real, because that's what they need, man. That's a big disconnect between this generation and the house, man.
And so, another thing we wanted to bring up was the way how things changed from generation was like the social media thing with like the cyberbullying and stuff like that, and how some kids actually live for comments or for likes or live for Instagram or it might be some comments made in a post or something like that hurt somebody's feelings. Now they going through suicide or something like that, and it's crazy how social media has this much impact on kids. Back then, like I said, we was barely with the AOL, and when we did start getting the stuff, we was getting MySpace. I think that was like the first one we kind of got. So that MySpace. So we got that, we was on that, but it wasn't as crazy as it was right now. It did like people comments or tags or whatever like that didn't make people go hurt themselves or make them feel bad about it. It wasn't as crazy how it is now. And the way social media is now is like any little wrong thing could be said to another kid, and that can make them go do something crazy. that's crazy about how the generations change on stuff like that, because our only type of bullying back then was physical bullying.
Yeah.
You
Real
had
life.
that,
Real life
a real
stuff. Yeah.
bully at the school, and then you just had to deal with your problems with that bully at school or whenever you was around them. But
Right.
it wasn't never like, they could attack you at home,
Yeah.
or they
Because
could
then
get
it's
you at
like,
any
you
other
can't
time.
really
Right,
run
right,
from
right.
it, man.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing I just wanted to bring up, how, the generations change with how, we accept things, from the kids side when we was younger, and how things is accepted, with kids nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. And man, I've heard some some crazy stories about, the cyberbullying and stuff.
Right,
I
right.
honestly didn't know it was as bad as it was, or is.
Right.
So, I hope nobody's going through that right now, and if they are, man, just know, you can get through it. Just reach out to somebody, please, man, because that stuff is real, man. And like I said, I didn't know how real it is. You know what I'm saying? But that's like bad on both sides, man, because the people that's doing it, they dealing with some stuff, and they just taking it out on other people, and the people that's going through it, they dealing with some stuff to where the comments that someone's saying can even affect them that much.
Right.
You know, and I feel like that goes back to, I don't want to say just goes back to parenting, because, I think back in my days when I was younger and ignorant, I used to be like, well, man, if you a good enough parent, you'll know and you'll talk to them. But like, man, sometimes, man, kids can hide stuff, man.
Right.
If a kid don't want you to know, you're not gonna know.
Right.
You can try to be in their life as much as you want to, man. If they don't feel like talking, they don't want to talk, they not. So it's not always on the parents. It's not always on either side. I mean, for the bully or the one that's getting bullied.
Right.
But it's always something deeper on both sides, to where they're bullying people because of something. Maybe it's something at home, and also, you're allowing those comments and things to affect you because something's happening. Maybe you're missing some attention from the parents or from your mom, your dad, or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, man, this social media stuff it's a gift and a curse, because you can use social media for the right ways, and man, it's beautiful.
Right.
If you starting a business or something, man, you can use social media and
we talked about that already.
Connect to people all over the world within a matter of minutes, right? Mm-hmm. But then on the other hand, you have things like this, to where every time you log on, you're getting hate mail, hating comments, and every time you log on, it's making you feel worse and worse about yourself.
Right.
And that's that's crazy, man.
And that's really a topic for a whole nother discussion. Like,
man,
we can go so deep into that.
We can really talk about that.
And we just wanted to kind of just touch on that topic of what goes on with the differences of generation. And that cyberbullying thing wasn't really in back then in our generation. Right. So we just kind of wanted to touch that, but just wrapping things up, we definitely want to shout out to Salsa, for giving us this platform.
Definitely.
Thank you, Salsa, man.
Big shout out, Salsa.
Yeah, man. And for any buyers or wholesalers or sellers that's ready to get rid of properties, or if there's any wholesalers that have deals that's trying to do business together, or if there's any buyers that's looking for properties, you can always look me up under my website at www.anythingispossible.com, or you can reach us on all platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, under Talking Real Spill Podcast. And definitely like, comment, and share on YouTube, and leave any comments or remarks that you want us to talk about, or we didn't talk about something that you wanted us to touch on. Reach out to us. Leave those comments and those posts in Facebook or whatever, or Instagram, and just let us know what you want to talk about, and we'll get to it on the next show.
Yeah, definitely, man. Right. As always, man, anything relating to Forex, man, definitely hit me on the Facebook page, the Talking Real Spill podcast page. Let me know anything, anything you like, dislike, anything you want to talk about. Like I said, if you want to compare charts, just go over the charts and just, help each other grow as far as that Forex page. Forex topic, we could definitely do that. And as always, for any topic, man, any one of our episodes, if you listen to something you like, dislike, agree with, disagree with, especially a topic like this, if you feel like you have an input, you know a little bit more or a little something that we didn't say, man, definitely let us know.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment,
right?
And we'll try our best to get back to it, man. And also, we about to start looking into
doing interviews and
having
stuff
guests,
like that,
doing interviews and
right,
phone calls and everything. Yeah. So we definitely gonna let y'all know about that.
Yeah,
so
we definitely
need those
transitioning to that.
Yeah, we definitely need that input, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, any topic that we've gone over, or any topic that you would like to hear about, man, definitely let us know on any one of those platforms, be it Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever.
Right.
Definitely leave those comments, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so so that we can get back to you guys and keep it going that way, man.
Exactly.
So, but we definitely appreciate any of you guys that's any and everybody that's listening and that's just
tuning in to us every Tuesday, Thursday, man. We appreciate y'all definitely, and keep tuning in. We'll be at y'all again next Tuesday. And
yes, sir.
Again, this is Talking Real Spill podcast. It's AJ the Franchise.
It's the boy being the great.
Hey man, until next week, man. See y'all next week, next Tuesday. Check us out.